Alright, so that was my time lapse of my game as Germany, if you couldn't somehow tell from that. And yeah, now that we went over that, I'm gonna give you guys a few tips and tricks, so to speak, of just some general things you should keep in mind while playing as Brandenburg, or just maybe generally in VHRE. I think these should still be applicable. So yeah. First off, there's the question of why plays Brandenburg? Well, Brandenburg, first off, if you want to form Germany, they're the biggest nation, at least at the start date, or at least like one of the biggest that you can get. Oh, because we start off with 6 provinces. They're the third biggest, but you can't form Germany as Austria or Bohemia unless you do culture shifting, of course, but that's a different thing altogether. So, just playing it normally without culture shifting or anything, Brandenburg is the biggest. They also have some very, very badass ideas. They have more tax modifier, less stability cost, more morale of armies, less decay for army attrition, more infantry combat ability, less recruitment time, more manpower, less development costs, more tolerance for heretics, more yearly army tradition, less aggressive expansion, and more discipline. Very good ideas, very badass, very... there's a reason that the Prussian soldiers are nicknamed Space Marines. They fucking dominate. If you have at least a somewhat decent army composition, you will dominate no matter what. You will not have to worry about much. Except if you're horribly outnumbered, you'll probably have to worry. But other than that, you will be pretty much fine. So yeah, that's the main reason that you want. That's one of the reasons. You also can get an easy ally with Poland, who will be pretty helpful, for at least early game for expanding out, and just general stuff like that. You are also an elector, which will give you a foot up when it comes to the whole HRE game. So if you want to become, emperor or anything like that, you can vote for yourself. So you can do that. So yeah, in order to form Germany, you have to have at least Admin Tech 10. Can't be a subject nation. Those are really the only two things you have to worry about. There's some other requirements, and you can't be at war or be Emperor VHRE. So keep those things in mind. You also need the following provinces. You need I apologize by the way if I mispronounce any of these. Berlin, Stoke, Hamburg, Braunschweig, Thuringen, Sachsen, Essen, Frankfurt, Köln, Pfalz, Augsburg, München, Nuremberg, and either Alsace or Königsberg. I apologize again if I mispronounce any of those. But those are the provinces you need in order to form Germany. So you're going to be expanding a decent amount eastward and a bit westward, at least if you want to form Prussia. Which if you want to, you need, at least if you're playing as Brandenburg, you need Königsberg and I believe, either Stolp or Danzig. And you need to be either Reformed or Protestant, so you can't be Catholic. You have to swap over, which I want Protestant. I didn't get a Center of Reformation, so I just had to convert over, but I converted over pretty easily. And, yeah. So basically, so keep that in mind. If you want to form Prussia, at least, which I do recommend. I mean, you don't have to if you want to go for a Germany game, and it will disqualify you for being Emperor, but I didn't really play the Emperor game much anyway, and it's fun. Do keep in mind, though, if you have any Catholic allies here, you'll probably piss them off and lose them. That's how I lost Austria as an ally, and they end up rivaling me somewhat later on, though we're not exactly doing too hot now, so it doesn't really matter, does it? Yeah. So yeah, keep that in mind. For early expansion, I won't be able to give you too many tips for Brandenburg, but the Teutonic Order you're going to want to go after, of course. You'll get an event if to offer you to buy Neumark off of Teutons. Take it. Even it will probably take you into debt, especially because it happens early on in the game. But take it anyway. You'll be able to pay off the loans easily. Just keep maintenance down to 0, and you'll be able to pay it off. A free core on this province. It's a good event. Get it if you can. So yeah, they're gonna be a good one. You also want to go after Pomerania somewhat quickly if you can. In an event to take over Eastern provinces, I recommend vassalizing them. Myself, I took Griefswald and eventually vassalized them. You'll want to try to take out these two independent nations of Anhalt and Magdeburg as soon as you can. Magdeburg is a center of trade, so that'll be a good one to get. Other than that, outside of that, I can't really give you too many tips. Poland will be a good ally early game. I believe I had Saxony as an ally early on. They're a pretty solid ally to have. I think I also had the Palatinate as an ally for a bit, though I don't know for sure, so don't quote me on that. They're pretty solid allies. I wouldn't recommend going after, you can also get an ally with, God, what's her name? Brunswick. You can't get an alliance with them. I didn't. I honestly wouldn't recommend it. I'd recommend maybe going after Cologne, because they're an elector, and you can get an alliance with them. Also, you're going to want to take Braunschweig sooner than later, and you're probably going to take it before you take Köln. So, keep that in mind. For later game allies, you're going to want to get probably Sweden. I had Sweden. I initially had Denmark from the beginning, and that worked out pretty well, but they got dragged into war, which I wanted no part of, so I ditched them. And eventually I supported Sweden's independence, and we kind of stayed allies since. I mean, I kind of ditched them because we got into some wars with Russia. And I wanted to keep them, because I probably could have gone to PU, but now they're a federal republic, so goes to show how well that turned out for me. I also had the Ottomans as an ally for a while, so it was kind of a trifecta alliance going on with Russia, the Ottomans, and us. All three of us were allies, and we just fucked shit up. So there were a lot of expansion opportunities for us. The HRE. I also recommend getting Austria as an ally. Well, you probably won't be able to keep them, especially if you swap over to Protestant. You'll be able to negate the, they won't send it the unlawful territory things to you, because they have no reason to, because you are their ally after all, so it won't matter. So try to get them as an ally if you can. You won't be able to keep them, most likely. I mean, I didn't. And if you want like a pan-German thing going on, you probably won't want to keep them anyway, unless you get your dynasty on their throne, which in that case, worth a shot, but yeah. And maybe Britain, but they rivaled me pretty early on in the game, so that didn't work out. So yeah. I would not militarily expand as much as you would usually, because the HRE is a bitch to expand to because of the whole unlawful territory thing. You get a lot more expressive expansion. What I did is I vassaled out. Like I said, I got Pomerania. I also got Brunswick, who blobbed out a bit, but they were forced down to a few provinces. So I vassalized them. Since we still had cores in these land, I was able to get free land without having to worry about the Emperor trying to take it back. I did the same with Trier over here. I got some land from them. I vassalized them, got this kind of chunk, and then integrated that. I also did that for Lucca down here. They were just a one province minor here. So what I did is I vassalized them all the way down here, and I basically fed them a whole bunch of northern Italy. You might have seen that in the time-lapse. If not, feel free to go back and check it out. Also, keep an eye out for PUs if you get your dynasty on your phone. feel free to claim the throne and do wars. I got it with Saxony, which is the reason I didn't swallow them up earlier, why they were kind of a blob inside here. I also have a PU on Spain right now, which is pretty nice. That's why Spain got this land here, as well as down here. Even though Kebab, or at least not Kebab, Morocco took some of their land, I fought back and took it from them. So yeah. By the way, I also have some colonial holdings here in the New World. I have Mexico, and I have Canada. So yeah, also I had the Netherlands as an ally since they broke free from Austria. So yeah. I'm trying to think of any last minute tips. What else? Once you form Germany, you leave the Emperor, not the Emperor, the Holy Roman Empire, which might be a bit inconvenient, but I was actually kind of able to use it to my advantage, because Austria was still Emperor, even though the Empire was in total disarray. So when I declared war to take over like these provinces, then I declared a subsequent war in order to take the rest of Austria out. And take a bunch of land out here, this way. Also feel free to take advantage of the Protector of the Faith, which, by the way, I am right here, Defender of the Faith. The Netherlands was Defender of the Faith for a while, so what I did, I declared war on Catholic nations, and I used that to take Netherlands clay. Like, I took all Belgium in a pretty quick little swoop, as well as a bunch of this stuff. I also took a bunch of our colonial holdings, which is how I got Canada, even though I didn't really go down any colonial-focused stuff. So, yeah, keep that in mind. You can go colonial if you want. I didn't really feel like doing it very late game. So I just kind of focused on the waited to like early game. So I waited more late game in order to pick up my colonies. I probably could have had a better empire going on if I tried to, but I didn't really feel like it, you know. So yeah. Just really quick, all the advisors I have. Culture screen. Diplomacy. Got a bunch of shit down here. This is my economy tab. 83 with maintenance on. Without it, and with the forts mothballed, I make 212 gold per turn. Just pretty good. You'll make a lot of money. I was able to build the canal here. You know, it's kind of a waste because there's not much reason to have it, but I had plenty of money, so I figured you might as well build it. No, so yeah. I want trade. I'm pretty good trade wise. Yeah. Tech stayed pretty up to date. For ideas, I want influence first because I think even though Diplotech is better, or Diplo ideas are better in the long term, in the early game HRE influence better ideas are better. Defensive ideas, because they are just generally good, they're just a really good idea group to have generally. Not just with the, not just if you're playing a more defensive game, because all these just add up eventually, and you get a bunch of manpower as a result. At least some more manpower, more maximum, and all that. If anyone want economic, they're pretty solid ideas. You can't really go wrong with economic if you need an admin idea. Then I want quantity, because I want even more manpower. Then innovative, because I have a kind of a soft spot for this group, even though it may not be the best. The prestige decay decrease and the decrease to tech talk and institution embracement cost, I just love, so I go with them usually. Also, leaders without upkeep is a pretty good one if you're going military. There's also some decent ones. The ultimate idea is all right. Then quality, because how could you not? Just got to stack up that frickin' infantry combat ability and discipline and morale. If I want Diplo, more Diplo relations, more diplomats, more Diplo tech production is nice, and Province War Score Cross is very nice, especially if you want to blob out like I did. Then offensive, because I figured I'd ended up on a military tech, because if you form Prussia, the minimum military value you can get for a leader, minimum points that they can have is free. Usually, I'm pretty sure I had mostly 6 military tech guys, so, or regents, or emperors, or whatever I had. They were all pretty much 6 throughout. Even the shittier ones were like at least 4 military tech. So you will be very much ahead on military tech most of the time. So don't worry. You can get a bunch of military ideas and just be even better than you are now. So keep that in mind. Ideas. I can become Iceland if I wanted to, but no, I can't actually because I'd have to lose all this land. I could actually restore the Roman Empire. I did not know that. I might have wanted. You can form the. I didn't even know you could restore the Roman Empire. So if you want to do that, go ahead. If I knew that I could do that, I might have gone for it. I don't know. But yeah. Anyway, that's a bit irrelevant. Anyway, this is all the I got the Aspiration for Liberty thing, which kind of sucks. Religion, I went Protestant. Military, I have force limit of 625. These are my subjects. Like I said, I have Spain under a PU. I also vassalized Portugal. I mean, there's not much of them left, but they're around. I have Mexico going on here. They're not very big. I just took over one of the Aztec nations that was still somehow alive. It's probably because they converted to Catholicism, so no one felt the need to take them over. That's my guess, at least. Like, I also took Canada. So they're, yeah. So yeah, that was my Germany game, pretty much. That's pretty much everything I have. At least that comes to mind to say. I guess territories is worth looking over real quick. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. If you have any, if you like this video, first off, leave a like. If not, feel free to dislike. If you want to see more of these videos in the future, I don't do these I don't do these time-lapse videos very often. I'm mostly focused on getting good time-lapse, good games going first before I do these. So I focus more on quality instead of quantity on these, so keep that in mind. But I do strategy game videos. I do Hearts of Iron 4. I'm doing Civ 5 as well right now. I also do random one-off videos for different strategy games, not strategy games, just games in general. I finished up doing the FNAF series. I did Mini Metro before that. I don't know what I'm gonna do next, but I think I'm gonna do The Sims for pets. Or not pets, cats and dogs. If I get it, at least I think I'll be able to get it at least, and I'll probably do something on that. If not, I'll figure something out. So there's a decent amount of variety on Saturdays. So if you're curious about any of that, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. If you have any questions about this game specifically, or just tips, or just maybe you have a good Germany game you want to talk about that I helped you out with this, or anything like that, go ahead or maybe just have suggestions for games I should play or anything like that. Go ahead and leave them in the comment section below. It's what it's there for. I read all the comments I get, and even if I don't read all the comments I appreciate, or not read, reply to all the comments I get. I read them all, and I appreciate any feedback you might have for me. So yeah. I have a Patreon down linked below if you want to support me financially. I don't have ads on my videos. I can't. So this is the only way I can make money off these videos is Patreon. So if you think I deserve some dosh, go ahead and send my way. I have some reward tiers to hopefully entice you. I'm also open to feedback on the reward tiers. So yeah. That's down the link below. If you can't support me, I understand. But if you can, I'd appreciate it if you could. I also have a Discord down the link below if you want to join up with me. We can chat. We can play some EU4 multiplayer maybe, or just multiplayer in general. It doesn't have to be EU4. Yeah, that's it, guys. Thank you so much for watching. My name has been DB333, and I will see you guys next time. Goodbye.